is just go all in and take the risk. It's worth it. I wish I would have gone into real estate and learned about investing so many years ago.
Welcome, guys. It's Thursday, September 26th at 10:30 a.m. Thank you for being here at Momentum Realty's exclusive event to talk with Chris and Kady about their journey being in real estate sales and then moving into real estate investing and making six figures in 12 months, which is just not something that you hear a lot of real estate agents do. So it's a very impressive thing. I'm very proud of both of them, proud to be in business with both of them as well. So with that, Chris, Kady, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good to see you guys. Good to see everybody else. Alicia, Francis, Damaro, Nick. What's up, Jay, Lindsay? All right, we got family watching too. I love it. All right. Good morning, everybody. So we will go ahead and Chris, if you wouldn't mind sharing your screen, I would let them go ahead and take over and share their story. And what we're going to do is after they share their story, I'm going to have a couple follow-up questions for the group. And then I'd like to open it up to the entire group so we can really deep dive into what they're doing and how they're doing it and why they're doing it that way.
All right.
Sound good?
All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll jump right into it. So let's get to we'll go over the intro, of course, about Chris and Kady, getting started, the tools we use, some case studies, the money, a 12-month overview, and, then we'll open up for questions and stuff. So if you want to just skip the whole presentation and just, go get some business, long story short is just talk to as many people as possible, post on social media and find deals and find a mentor. That's going to be your most crucial thing to get started. It's just talking to people. That's if you just want to skip the rest of this conversation and go out and try to make some money off of, finding investment properties, is just go talk to as many people as possible. About me, even though I'm doing this presentation right here or talking to you guys, it's uncomfortable. I am an introvert at heart. I got my computer science degree several years ago. So I'm a nerd. I'm a computer science person. I left my W-2 job at age 40 to get into real estate. And then last year, I decided to start doing investing, and it was, I just told myself one day I want to be an investor. I don't want to do regular real estate anymore. And so then I just talked to some people in the office at Momentum, Bryce and Jamie, and, just partnered with them and started going from there. So I did 2 flips with them, Bryce and Jamie at Momentum, and then did my own stuff from there after that. And the whole thing that I got out of it was just that whether I succeed or I fail, it just all depends on me. I couldn't blame anybody else, couldn't blame the market conditions, couldn't blame opportunities. It just depended on me. So I took all responsibility for if I made it or didn't make it in this business. And so far, I'm still making it. So I'm doing all right.
Good morning, guys. I am Kady. We are thankful and honored to be talking to you guys this morning a little about what we have learned along the way. I have been an OBGYN sonographer for 18 years and still currently doing it. Chris was kind enough to take me under his wing last October and kind of show me the ropes. And I jumped in head first and I've loved every second of it. And I got my license in April. I was drawn to Momentum because they are super supportive and encouraging about real estate investing in itself and to think outside the box of general real estate. So I've just been grateful to be a part of the team.
And so how that started was, but we were neighbors, and one day she said she's trying to look for investment property, and she was using a realtor. And I told her, why are you using a realtor? Why don't you just do it yourself? And then her husband warned me, saying, "Be careful, man. Once you get Kady going on something, she's a beast on stuff, and she won't stop." And we just took it off from there. So she's been the best partner I've been able to work with so far. So it's been great. And so when we got started, we really did, we didn't use any money to start. I mean, there's tools that we used eventually to get some deals, but like Momentum would post like the expired leads on the Momentum Facebook page. And so that was free with the Red X leads from there. But I would just get out and talk to as many people as possible. And when I was doing a lot of houses downtown or in, not so good houses, and I do a lot of videos. And when I started the videos, it kind of switched my business to do more of the investment side without me knowing it, because the people are like, "Oh man, you looking at that crappy house? Well, I got a house for you. I got this house for you." So by me putting myself out there so people can see what I'm doing and having my little adventures of walking through homes and meeting homeless people and, seeing rats run around in the toilet, it brought funny stories on Facebook, and people would start sending me deals. So it just putting myself out there is one of the big things for me as far as getting in front of it. That's why I'm wearing like a pink shirt, because then I stand out, and it's in most of my pictures, you see me wearing a pink shirt, it has my information on it. So I want to make sure I'm out there in front of everybody so people can see what I'm doing. And this is just, I go all in on this business. So the main thing is, but when you're out there with these people though, and you meet these people, they are not in the best situations of their lives. So we worked on really trying hard to find out what their hardship was and then find solutions for it. And you'll see later when we talk about the deals that we go through. So Kady's gonna talk about what you bring to the table and how you get people and the cold calling aspect of it. And because you're probably gonna say, great, Chris, I get deals. So what do I say? And this is where honestly, I can be totally transparent. Phone calls aren't my thing. So luckily for me, I partnered with someone who can do the phone calls, and she killed it. She's like, I'm in the line picking my girls at school, and I'm calling people. And this person, I'm like, holy crap, man, she's calling people. And so having a person that, doesn't do what you do and you build off each other's strengths made it so much easier. So Kady, how was the phone call in the beginning for you? What did you say? How'd you get people? Because you jumped in October, you just started calling people.
Because you challenged me. They're like, I give you 2 weeks to make as many appointments as possible, and then we can get started on project. And so I was like, okay, let's go. Cold calling was where is what I took over and handled. And to me, what I've learned is it's most importantly that you don't need to be experienced or to be an expert to get the deal. You honestly just need to know how to ask the right questions and then just be quiet and listen, because these people are super overwhelmed and going through a lot. And you really just want to be able to provide a solution to them and just honestly have a heart for people and to be there for them. We use lead generations as Vortex and Follow Up Boss. And so I've been calling pre-foreclosures. And I've definitely learned that it's important just to meet them where they are and let them feel heard. Tonality is everything. Just pretend you are talking to a friend or a family member that needs your help. Like just for example, if they have high energy and you match their high energy. If they're down and talking like this, you kind of match that as well, just to meet them where they are. And it's just very important not to qualify yourself. And it's not important to tell them who you are and who you are with and, your track record about how many houses you have sold along the way and whatnot. It's just not about you. It's just to be interested in them and not interesting in general. I have learned just to build rapport, just to start off the bat, and mirroring their experiences and what they have gone through can be a great way to find common ground with each other, because people ultimately want to do business with who they know, like, and trust. And just kind of building a relationship and hearing them out overall really helped us just to move forward with this. And just to believe, honestly, and have the mindset that you are truly the best solution for that seller, and you can provide for them and, get them out of the overwhelming situation they're in. And just to continue to push through the objections on the phone.
So the other thing with that, when you push through the objections and you come across these clients, you take what you've got in real estate if you're an agent, and if you're an investor, we leave with presenting all offers for them, all opportunities, whether they need to list their house, we need a cash out refi, if they need to go to a bankruptcy lawyer, if they need to go probate lawyer, we don't leave without providing them with every opportunity. So there's really no reason why they can't do business with us, because we leave it with every option available on the table for them. Before when I did it, when I was just an agent, I say, okay, if I can't list your house, okay, whatever, I'm going, just go away. But now it's like, okay, we can do the full thing for you. And if one opportunity doesn't work out, we'll list your house. If we can buy your house, we'll do this. So all the options are out there for you. So you make sure you just, like she said, you listen to their problems, you understand what they need. And it might not be a sale. It might be, we have one guy we're still talking to, it's been a year, and he's got a house in Orange Park. We didn't get the deal, but we still talk to him every now and then. We check in on him, see how his job doing that. He was able to do a loan modification, but we don't know what his situation will be like in the future. So we stay in contact with these people. And again, it wasn't like we were pushing him for the deal. We were pushing to help solve his problem. And he was behind, and we able to talk to him, hey, you should try to do loan modification, but watch out for these things when you do a loan modification. And now he's moving on in life. He's got his job and he's got a loan modification. But if something happens, he'll let us know, and we still check in with them. So you want to build a rapport and check in with people, and just again give them a solution for any kind of situation they have.
I think our number one goal on the phone too is just to set an appointment, to be able to meet with them face to face and let them know that we are local, we are real people, and we want them to hear all the possible options that they have. I think that we have had the most luck with the follow-ups and just staying in contact with these people. The ones that we've recently closed were all from just following up and touching base and checking on them to see if they need anything.
And to that point, though, I'm give all credit to her because she's the queen of follow-up. I mean, her follow-up game is unreal. She calls people 2-3 times a week, probably 2-3 times a day, and that's until she gets the answer. Once she gets the answer, then she puts on a regular schedule. But she's the queen of following up.
Thank you, because this is a long-term game.
Yeah.
Nothing is instant, and lots of the deals we recently closed were from people I was talking with all the way back in October. So you just have to,
just keep following up. So one of the back to the tools. So again, we use RedX Follow Boss. Thank you, John, for lending. He has lended on so many projects so far, and it's been great. He knows I have tried to shop around for lending, and I still come back to John because it's convenient, easy, and he makes it simple to do it. So, and again, if you don't have the money, you can talk to John, and I'm sure he'll partner with you. I'm not sure what the arrangement is, but the split will be different. But then some money is better than no money. So the main thing again is just find the deals. And if you don't have any money, go to all the investor meetups you can. Some of them are nighttime, some of them are daytime. Like she mentioned, she watched the Short Sale Queen on YouTube. I watched Pace Morby. I didn't follow everything he said, but I just wanted to get the scripts and hear how people talk to people. And you find a credible person to study from, get a mentor. And then once you start doing stuff, you got to just take action and go out and door knock on houses. And of course, you can use chat. If you really get stuck, use ChatGPT. It's free. You can say, ChatGPT, what should I tell somebody? And it'll print out something better than nothing, and just get out there and take action. Because you don't want to sit at home and try to make the perfect plan of what you're going to do. Like, once I get this set up, once I do this, and once I have the money over here, then this, and then you'll never get the deal. And you'll sit there and wonder, then you'll be pissed off at yourself, man, how come I didn't make any money off this business? And because you just kept waiting for the perfect plan. So you just got to get out there and make a contact with people, door knock, phone calls, investor meetups, and just get out there and make it your priority to be in the business.
And you learn as you go. We are by no means experts. Each house we learn something new, but we just really wanted to share with you guys the tricks that we've learned along the way. And just definitely, like when I first started, I was on a mission to learn all about it and to absorb all the wisdom I possibly could. So even now, every spare minute I get, I'm on YouTube University, listening to videos on flips and learning about investing and all kinds of stuff. So there is limitless free knowledge out there to take advantage of.
And now we're going to talk about, we're now getting to the money side of things. So again, 3 deals that we had went straight to listings because it just, the numbers didn't make sense as far as just even making, borrowing money from John, renovations, closing costs, all that stuff. Like it wouldn't have made sense. So we just went straight to listings of those. 6 of them were profitable flips. 2 of them, I lost money. These weren't Kady flips. These are my own flips. I lost money. I lost up to $15K. But there's lessons learned on that. 3 of them we have current listings and 2 current flips in the works. So I just want to show you guys that from March of 2023 to October, I made $70K in profit in flips. And then since partnering with Kady, we've made $220 so far this year, and we have pending $180K in profit coming up. And I just want to show you the sources. Again, 7 of those deals came from RedX that was paid. 1 was for sale by owner. Referrals are free. We got 3 of those. The website and agent partners. So you can see there's a mixture of ways to get deals. You're not just stuck on one. So again, there's no excuse. There's a variety of ways to get deals. Call for sale by owners, offering cash on their house. If you're an agent, go on MLS, look for old listings. There's just so many opportunities out there to find the deal. So there's really no excuse why you can't do it, why you can't get started. And you find a deal, you can bring it to me and Kady, or you can bring it to John and someone that's an investor and review the deal. I'm sure they'll help you out if the numbers make sense. So this is one that I'll let Kady take lead on this one. This is one that was our first one that we did together.
This guy was a tough cookie. This was actually the very first appointment I set. I had been talking to him quite often for probably 4 weeks or so. Anyways, he was a big time hoarder. He was not able to take his trash out for about the previous 10 weeks. He told me he had a bug problem. So I was a little nervous going into this. And conveniently, Chris was out of town when I made the appointment. So our guy, Julius, took one for the team and met me there. And it was definitely a wild experience. And thankfully, Julius walked the property, and God bless him, he came out, roaches flying off of him left and right. But we were able to help this seller out because he was about to lose his house to auction from a delinquent HOA, believe it or not. The very next month, he was about to lose everything. So he finally took our offer. We were very generous with the offer because we truly wanted the best for him. And we have definitely learned to not always lead with our emotions in this department.
For sure.
But this was a wild renovation from start to finish. And Chris will show you the before and after pictures.
Well, and this one, again, we borrowed from, we purchased for $80K in December. We put $57K into it, or $58K almost into it. But I want you to see the chart. So when that chart, it looks like that's the money that it builds up that we put in this property. So it's not like each month. This is what building up. So it starts very low, under 10K. Then you're like, oh shoot, now I got to put another 10K in this house, and eventually you're like, I got $58,000 floating in this property, and I'm tell you the stress that can put on to you. And then you got emails from your lender saying, hey, time to make a mortgage payment. You're like, okay, I got to pay this mortgage, I got to pay my contractor, I got to pay the HOA, I got to pay the water bill, I got to pay electric bill. I mean, you don't realize how many things go into a flip project as far as bills and money you need to go out the door. Meanwhile, you still got to take care of your household at home. So just keep that in mind when people talk about getting flips. And if you feel uncomfortable in this kind of situation, you definitely might want to partner with someone like John, or I got money now, so if you want to partner with me too. But you want to partner with people because it can be really stressful, and they don't show you that on YouTube and stuff about the money, that how stressful it can be having all that cash floating out there, and you're just like, shoot. And then you get nervous because, one thing I'll tell you, like, so this guy, we start cleaning, I started paying money to get stuff cleaned and do all that stuff. He didn't get out for like 2 months. And that was my mistake. I learned that you got to do escrow holdback. I trusted this guy, like, hey, he netted 50K. I'm like, here's your 50K, man. Part ways, we'll see you. Good, thank you. He's like, nah, I'm gonna stay here for a minute. You're like, whoa, hold on, hold on a second. And I panicked. I didn't know what to do, and I paid an eviction lawyer, but then, I didn't need to do it because I used AI to help me write a letter, put on the door saying, hey, you're about to get in. That worked. But it was stressful. That moment was stressful when someone says, oh, I'm not gonna get out. And you're like, I just gave this guy money. I owe money. I gave this guy money. And now I'm like, what am I doing next? So just make sure you do things when you're doing something with the seller and they need to get their stuff out. Because he was a hoarder. It's like, oh, hold on, I got to get some more stuff out of the house. You got to make sure you hold some money back, a good amount, so it motivates them, like 15, 20K. That way, when they get out, like, hey, it's up to my discretion to pay you this money when you get out. But hold it back so they're not, holding that out against you, or not moving out. So that's why I put there, do an escrow holdback. Again, we purchased for 80. Renovation cost was almost 58K. We sold for 170. So that's 6 months of our cash being held up. But the two of us together almost got 29K, so 14K each. Again, that's not a huge home run by a lot of investors' ideas, but I will take $14,000 any month, any day on a return of $60,000. So that works for me. But we put on the two things: escrow holdback and set boundaries. I know Kady had to deal with a lot of situations on setting boundaries with this. What was the situation you had?
Oh, his girlfriend was living in another state, and she was very protective and territorial over him, and was just blowing my phone up at all hours of the night, wanting to make sure he was taken care of and that we were, giving him the best possible scenario of finances and what we were offering him. And we definitely were. We've learned along the way, we offer above and beyond what we probably should.
She gets at me about that. Well, side note, we'll go to a meeting and say, okay, we're going to offer them 100K. And, and she'll always talk about don't lead with emotions. She's coaching me on this. And then you'll go in there and you'll hear their story. Like, oh, I feel so bad for this person. We'll give you 120. And you're like, oh, dang it.
So we are going to try to go with the formula of 75%. Would be our offer, by the way. 75% of the ARV minus the renovations. That would give us enough wiggle room in case surprises come up, which they always do. 100% always do. Our last house that is currently on the market, we had an extra $5,000 surprise. And before then it was a few thousand. So it makes sense to use that formula to be the most beneficial
For both parties.
Yeah, for both parties, 100%. But just to give you guys a background, we couldn't do any of this without, of course, John's, private lending. So we have his loan pay for the entire house, and we usually front the money for the renovation.
Yes.
But however, and a private loan can cover all renovations as well. But that's how we've been doing it thus far, and that's why we have a lot of money out there.
You can use, I've used John in the previous deal, I used him for the renovation costs. But again, you got to have the mindset ready that, so if you buy a house at 200 and renovation would be 40,000, so now you're at 240, and you borrow the money from a private lender, it doesn't mean it's going to be John. My monthly mortgage payment to that lender would be $2,400, so $2,400. I got to pay that person every month. So you got to make sure that you have that money set aside to pay the bills, to pay your lender, and again, pay the utility and all that stuff. So just keep that in mind. The more money you borrow, of course, the more money you got to pay back monthly. I know different lenders have different situations, but that's the way we do it with John.
Chris likes to live on the edge a little bit more than me. I like to be a little bit more prepared financially for the project we're taking on, because you also have insurance, you also have electricity and water, and just to not get yourself in trouble, to have that money set aside for the next project you're going to take on.
Oh, again, I got stories about like not making the right financial decisions and doing flips, and you sometimes feel like you're taking on more than you should, but you just learn from it and you just keep moving forward. So the next one, this is again, Kady did an awesome job following up. This was a long-term person. She started talking to this person in October, and what was her situation for this person?
So this seller, this was her husband's mobile home. He unfortunately passed, and she was just, beside herself. And this was the last piece of him she had. So she knew she needed to move, knew it was in foreclosure and that she was losing the property, but just had a hard time facing reality with it. So I just heard her out for a while, just checked on her, just to see if she needed anything. Eventually, she was willing to take the step. We put her through probate, so the property was in her name, and just met with her a few times, and she needed some time with all of this. She was not an instant transaction whatsoever. I think we communicated with her honestly for
it was a good while,
5 months.
Yeah, because we started in October and we didn't buy until May. And again, this is where you want to have a probate lawyer. We have a bank guy on call. So you have these people, again, when you have an appointment, you need to have a contact, a probate lawyer and a bank lawyer. And if you don't know anybody, you can ask me, ask John, or you can ask your title company. Whatever title company you use, they will know someone, or a lawyer, someone's going to know something. Or you just post on Facebook saying, hey, I'm doing investing, I need a probate lawyer, and have that interaction on Facebook now. So you want to make sure you're always engaging people and ask people questions, good questions. Like, again, who has a probate lawyer? Because that interaction on your Facebook, social media will help bring more engagement. And then people are like, oh, you're doing flips, and I'm doing flips or something. And then it just opens conversation for more potential deals to come your way. But yeah, we bought this one in May for 108. It took a while. We had to be very patient with her. And we ended up selling it in September for $246 with a profit of nearly $70K. And you see the little picture with her in the mirror is because that was the last message her husband had wrote before he passed away on the mirror. And so when we remodeled the bathroom, we took that down for her and gave it to her. And shout out to Alina and her crew for helping us with this project, because that was something special that meant something to her. And they were, able to save that for her, and it made the client happy as can be. After that, so when you do that kind of service for this kind of person, now she's like, hey, I got someone else that's going to want to buy a house. And you just open the floodgates to people just want to come back to you because you were kind, you're genuine, and you helped them out. You didn't just say, hey, I got a cash deal for your house. You truly help people out, and it makes a difference. So we're going to share this presentation with you. and you're going to see all these. This is all the challenges with money. There's a whole bunch of challenges with money. Again, it comes from you'll end up being stressed out about money just so you. If you're smart, I'm pointing to her. If you're smart, you plan ahead and you have money set aside. If you're like Chris and you want to just fly by the seat of your pants, it will get stressful. But you got to maintain the cash flow. You got to find ways to make money. I just figure if I put myself in a stressful situation, I have to find a way out of it. So if you're that kind of person, maybe that works for you. I know, again, Kady, she plans ahead, so that's her mentality. I'm like, man, I need to have some stress to make me figure it out. And when I get that stress, I'm able to find ways to make money. I will call someone. I'll call this person. I'll call that person. I'll call John and say, hey, man, I got this deal. Let's make it happen. And then if you do that, you'll just find ways to make things happen. And there's no excuse. You'll just end up finding ways to make things happen. Things will get done, and you'll just keep moving on. And you'll find another deal will come along.
I feel like that's why it's so important also just to find a great partner to do this with, because he excels where I lack and vice versa. So, sometimes one likes to jump in and one is more of a sound mind. And so we just kind of balance. Each other.
Yeah, that's true. Sound mind.
A lot of fun along the way.
So again, I know I'm harping on this money stuff, but I want you to know that, we've spent over $500K this year on renovations, HOA things and everything. This is not including, just loan for the house. It's just $500K out there, and there's different ways to get money, but don't let anything hold you back. Just find the deals. That's the most important thing. And here's our keys to success. I made a typo here. I put follow up as king, but it should really be follow up as queen, because I'm with the queen of follow up, and it wouldn't happen without her help. So it's definitely a grateful partner to have. And we learned you got to do a title search. One house we didn't do a title search. I lost about $5,000 on the house. That's not included on the spreadsheet because we didn't do a title search. We just assumed this person owned the house, and we found out this person really didn't own the house. And I had to go to Green Cove Jail, try to get the person to sign this. The guy that did steal the house from the lady, I had to get him to sign something, but it still didn't work out. We didn't do the short sale correctly, so then the bank denied our short sale, and it was a whole fiasco. But we learned so many lessons from that transaction, and we learned that back to the motion thing that Kady will harp on and remind me about a lot of times, because it's true. Because the people are in the situation for a reason, and if you let them get into your world and let their emotions take effect on you, you'll end up starting to give in to them too much, and then that you're like, oh, this is why you're in the situation, because you abuse people and not, just being transparent. They're in a situation, they're behind on payments because of something. And if you just keep giving to these people, they will take everything you got. So you just got to be careful about set boundaries and about the emotions with people in distress situations, and be genuine. But you can see, I just want to put some pictures on here and videos to show that we have fun what we're doing. Yeah, we walk these houses, but these kind of things, these posts that we do, and this goes back to saying, put your stuff on social media, what you're doing. Show people that you're having fun, that you're out looking at homes, that you're signing contracts in the OBGYN place. And that was like the scariest place in the world for a dude. So I'm just like, I'm telling you, sitting on that chair with the lady, you're like, what the heck is going on here? That was
the sacrifices we will go to sign a deal.
Yeah, that was a learning lesson there. But it makes great content, and we're genuine what we're doing. We're having fun, and we post on social media about what we're doing. And I think one of your deals you got from social media, right? What was the deal for the?
Yes, actually, I was super blessed. One of my friends that I used to go to church with almost 7+ years ago reached out to me because of things that I was posting, which is very out of my comfort zone as well. But I was taking advantage of the free marketing and social media, because Chris would tell me that every day, you need to post, you need to show people what you're doing. And it actually really paid off, because her in-laws were in a house for 35 years. Everything was falling apart, the plumbing, the electric, the AC finally stopped. That was the final straw. And they wanted an investor that they could trust. And so she reached out to me, and it was just amazing how it all turned out. So a lot of times we just have to put ourselves out there, out of our comfort zone, and it really does pay off. It really does.
So what's your final thoughts there, Kady?
It's a wild ride. That's for sure. It's a wild ride, and none of this is easy. You have to be determined and on a mission. And even though we post before and after pictures, it's never smooth. There's always, I mean, like you said, we have, oh my goodness, we've had gone to the jail. We have gone to a nursing home. We have had crazy things happen before our eyes.
We have.
I'm sorry.
We have these stories from our head. Like one story was we were trying to get this one deal. We went in there and it was a probate deal. There's 5 heirs to this property. We're in there walking with the little brother. The guy's kind of short. He's older, smoking cigarettes, have his coffee. And we're in his house, and his I don't know what relation, maybe cousin or whatever's in the house, renting the house from him. And this guy was like, was big. He was probably like 6'2" and just a big dude, not muscular, just big. Like if you watch the movie Goonies, yeah, straight out Goonies. And this guy, before I know it, they're in a tussle. This guy's like, one guy's like 5 foot, and the Goonie dude's like 6'2". They're in a tussle, and next thing I know,
Belly hanging
out of his shirt.
Coffee goes everywhere.
The short guy's coffee flies and hits me, and I'm like, man, okay, I'm in trouble. And I'm like, well, look, I got my partner. I'm like, oh, my partner ran out.
I was out.
She ran out, and in the
I saw
car.
Chris going to get in. I was like, I'm out.
But those are the stories of the situation, the people you meet, and again, I remain calm through situations. You can't let you got to just try to calm people down because everyone's in a situation. This is like the lowest point for the real estate transaction for these people. And you got to make sure you keep your calm, you stay cool. And then that's also another way how you earn their trust is that, this is not their best moment of their real estate, whatever transaction it is, whether it's a probate or their own personal house, but you stay calm and you help them out and stay there with them and comfort them and just listen to their stories. So again, that's my point is to always just keep moving forward. I'm all in on this. You see me growing up, I would never thought I'm gonna wear a pink shirt. I thought only guys from Miami wore pink shirts. And then I just wanted to wear a shirt that stood out. So when I'm out there looking at houses and I do video posts and all that stuff, I'm branding myself. So that way I'm out there and I'm branding who I am, what I do. And I make my own shirts. Wherever I go, if I went to Utah, I had a guy ask me about investing in Utah. I had a guy ask me about investing in Texas. So I brand myself, so I keep myself going, and it's free marketing. Yeah, I pay for the shirt, but now people know who I am, people see who I am, and people see me in my videos. And which one gives them acknowledgments? One is to John, again, for all his lending, and he's actually been a great coach on this. He's the one who told us to do title search, and we got to them a bunch of times. Our title company, Wendy, and we also use Titan Title several times. Our people that helped us with flips, I've done 9 with Andrew. We've done 2 with Alina, and we did 2 with Jamie. So it's just been a wild ride. And you see that we use all the resources possible out there to help get things going. We don't let anything say no. So, for example, the reason why we had to step in with Alina and Jamie is because Andrew's like, dude, I'm at capacity. He's doing our flips, he's doing other flips. So we got to find a new project manager. And the reason why we got these people is because you talk to them. And you find out, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. And then, to be honest, I don't want to do nothing with the flip. I want to just find the house and say, hey, project manager, you take over. Don't ask me about lights. Don't ask me about, anything. Just you take over. I don't want to know. Just let me know when you need the money and what I got to do. I don't want to know anything. Just let me know when the pictures are ready to be taken. Don't ask me about things. But when I started working with Kady and she gets like these basket lights and stuff that look all fancy, it makes a difference. I'm like, oh, that looks pretty good. That makes, when you have that lady's touch, it's not so industrial like the guys pick out. So it is nice to have a partner that kind of can see things differently and, give a comment to the project manager saying, hey, let's do something differently.
Project managers are highly recommended, 100%, because you're able to move on to the next project. They oversee, they schedule, they get the jobs done. So first of all, we could never do it without John Brooks and the lending, 100%. We are so thankful for that. And then secondly, with the project managers. So you have to really have an awesome network, be surrounded by great people, and it's a team effort 100%. And yeah.
And get back to the project managers, the reason why they're so important, because I don't know if you ever try to do anything at your house, whether it's just your own home, a plumbing, something, electrical, and you're trying to get the electrician out there. It's stressful trying to find one. negotiate the price or whatever. And it's like, I just don't have the patience for that. So if you have someone who already has that database of people or has those people contractors on hand, it's better to just have them get their people out there and then find the people and then they do all the work and you just pay them. And it makes it so much easier.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. I'm going to give the stream back to John, and then
Thank you both so much, Chris and Kady, for sharing your story. It's very inspiring, and I have a ton of questions for you. So I would love to just get a couple minutes to ask you both a bunch of questions, including what in the world are you thinking, doing all of this craziness? But really, I want to start with Chris, if that's okay, and ask a couple questions, Chris, and then Kady, I'll ask you some. Chris, you were a real estate agent, and what caused you to move? You were doing $3 million at a big box brokerage. You moved to Momentum. You started doing 10 to 12 million, and then you flipped to going into investing and making six figures there. What was the evolution in the thinking between each one of those moves?
I mean, you got me into the group, Emerge with Go Abundance, and it's like real estate's good. However, being an agent, it's stressful. Selling like 300 homes and doing everything became, I need one more deal. Like to pay some bills, I need one more deal. If I get this client, it's gonna be one more deal. I need this closing, and then the deal doesn't go through. And you're like, crap. I was kind of on that commission, and that one more deal mentality really stresses you out. And then I was stuck to my phone. I did Zillow for several years, and then I was able to build my Google business profile really well. So I get phone calls from that, I get phone calls from Zillow. And it's like just being totally honest, it's the stress. The stress of being a real estate agent if you're doing it successfully, you'll be stressed the F out, that's going to get to you because you'll have leads coming. You have people come to you and you're like, I just got to keep answering my phone. And switching to investor. And I was kind of pretending because my buddy Andrew, he would say he would invest in, and I'm like, man, I want to be in that situation where his company's buying houses. And I'd, go on appointment and say, well, yeah, I'm an investor too, but I didn't have anything going on. It's like, okay, I got to really get into this. And I think I told you one day, like, I'm going to start investing. I got to figure it out. And I just switched in my brain. Like, I'm going to start investing because now I can control, I'm the seller. So it's nicer because now I can control the market how I want to do. I can make the deals. I'm not trying to go on these listing appointments and trying to am I going to beat out John Brooks on his listing appointment? And did they like me? And did they do this? And then are they going to market? And then you go through the whole thing. You're like, are you going to sell your house at this price? And it was just too much stress, man. So being an investor is stressful, but it's less stress than being a regular realtor. That's my opinion.
Yeah, thank you for that. And Chris, so you're feeling this stress. You feel the need to go into investing. And now you go into presentations offering all options, right? So you can list their house, you can give them the cash offer. Also, Momentum has property management. Like you have a bunch of outs for going on that meeting. Does that reduce the stress for you? Or are you still going on those meetings, or is that just Kady? Or, going in with that cash offer mentality and knowing you have the cash behind it to make that offer, does that just give you so much more confidence and less stress?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It makes it so when I go to the appointment, I'll be upset at myself if I didn't answer their solutions. There's no reason why I can't walk out of this appointment with some kind of transaction going on. And generally, with what we do with the investing, and again, everything comes back to now people are reaching out to me. So even the appointments are easier because even her story, I don't know her story, but when she said someone reached out on Facebook, that's a guaranteed sale now. You're not stressed out about and I win this person over. And so the whole stress level will reduce, and I go to appointments more confident, not competing with Open Door or OfferPad. I am the Open Door and OfferPad now. And I will go look on just being told, I'll go look on Open Door and see what they offer on a house and be like, okay, so now I have a ballpark. I know if Open Door offers a $300K house, Open Door is going to offer 220. They're really going to come down to the seller and they're going to say probably 180. So I know when I go in there, if I don't have any kind of number, I'm like, okay, I'm going to offer 180 because I know they already checked Open Door or something. And so it took away all the pressure of what the appointment's going to look like. And I can walk in saying, and if they don't pick me, it's like, hey, I know I'm the best person out there for you. So, and what I learned in this is I know I see Lindsay on here and I don't see Julius and other people that I partner with. Having those partners on the regular real estate side has made life so much easier. So I had to learn to give up money. If I got a listing coming up in Oakleaf, a person referred to me out. I just called Julius, hey man, I know that's your back home. That's your area. Let's split 50-50, 25, whatever the deal is I can do with someone. Alicia's been great, she knows. I can go on for about 30 minutes with Alicia because she's taking the brunt of all my leads that come in for regular real estate, and she's just been a champ. But I like splitting money with her because now I don't think about it. I don't stress out about the regular real estate side of it, and I can just focus on finding more people on flips and doing silly videos and getting more deals coming in.
Got it. So just to summarize and tell me if there's anything you want to change this, but in your business, when something stresses you out, you find somebody else to transfer that stress to, or transfer that.
Yes. I'm a point guard, man. Point guard of stress. I will pass that ball in a heartbeat. Like, I'm tired of this stuff. But that's only after selling so many homes and seeing doing the Groundhog Day of how this will play out. And now also I can be fortunate enough to give opportunity to other people who I know want to get somewhere in life with real estate. And then, so yes, I'm passing the stress off, but at the same time I give opportunities to other people to make money in real estate.
Yeah. You're the quarterback and you're putting together your team. I love it. And you're just throwing it and have other people run with the ball. Kady, what's it like to run with the ball with Chris?
Oh boy. It's fun. Honestly, we really even each other out very well. Like I said before, I excel where he lacks and he excels where I lack. But it's great. Honestly, I feel like I'm kind of the front end. I get the deals, I represent us, and then he does kind of the middle organization.
I hope she's saying I do something though. It's not like awful.
Yeah, no, he totally does. But it's great. We both have a heart for people, I feel like, which truly helps with what we're doing. So it really is a win-win overall. And I'm thankful he kind of took me under his wing and has taught me how this industry works. And I wouldn't change anything about it now. All I can think about is just moving forward and getting us more deals, and just I'm really excited to see what the future holds for sure.
Yeah, I love it. And you can tell from the energy in the organization of your presentation, you guys love what you do. You guys love, spending time together and doing the work and doing in helping people. Like you said, you have a big heart, and both of you, knowing you both, Chris for 7 years and Kady more recently, I can tell you guys really care about the customers and providing them all the options and finding the best options. And it might not be the best option for you financially for the outcome, but it's the best option for the customer. And that makes a huge difference for the community. So it's not something where you're just going in and, some people think that, wholesalers or flippers are just like, preying on people. Like, this is not what's happening here. You guys are really helping people out of hard situations where they might have had no money. And then you're getting them at least something in a place to go. And I know personally, I've seen you both go out there and help them find rentals, right? Like help them out on the back end, and you're really building a deep relationship with them. And I love watching you guys do that and tell your stories.
Well, thank you. We really believe that truly doing the best thing, I feel like God blesses that. Absolutely. I mean, we have been taken advantage of a time or two. Being errand and grocery runners for people, but we know when to draw some boundaries now.
But the main thing though, if you're out there doing this and you get that first deal, really help that person out. Because just last night I got a text from our deal from a condo we're doing in Fleming Island. The guy texted me saying, "Hey Chris, I got a lead for you." And so just because we took care of him, and he only got $500 from us, but he was so grateful how we came through and helped him out, that just even getting $500 a pocket and saying, "Hey man, if you send us some deals away, we'll make it worth it for you too." And so now all people we help are out there looking for deals for us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
More referral from the people we help.
So let's do this. I'm going to get out of the way. We've got tons of questions in the chat. We got people raising their hands, and then I have questions at the end if we still have time. And so look, we're 40 minutes in. So let's do this. Let's go to Lindsay, and then let's go to Sean. So you just unmute yourself and go ahead and ask your question.
Can you unmute yourself?
Hey, so first I want to say, Chris, I'm very thankful you get very stressed and you decided to invest in me, because my career would not be where it is without you. And then I want to know, where do you find your free foreclosures at? You said that's where you get a lot of your fixers. How do you find that information?
So especially like in your area, Lindsay, I know what I do sometimes is just I'll go to lunch with you guys down that little truck down in Palaca. And
Angels.
Angels, I love that place where they got the bass fishing trophies and stuff. And you just open up your map, you open up Zillow, and you look at pre-foreclosures nearby. And yeah, we've talked to several people through that way, and it hasn't worked out the best. But there's always opportunity wherever you're at to look at pre-foreclosure, no matter what city, what state, and look at pre-foreclosure on Zillow, and just go knock on the door and just
So
say,
you find it on Zillow?
"There's Zillow, RedX if you want to start calling them." But or just knock on the door if you drive by and see a house nearby. But it's really just that easy. Just wherever I'm at. But I'll be talking with Julius. Hey man, what do you got going on? But hey, we're in Orange Park. Let's go look. Let's go door knock some 5 houses. And you start door knocking the same people over and over again. And sometimes they tell you go away. They do this and that, and then you call them. But it's a repeated pattern of I'm not door knocking everybody, but I door knock when I'm in an area for someone and just make it like a kind of more instead of machine gunning it. For sure, the cold calling work. That's like Kady's like the machine gun levels the whole jungle, but the door knocking is like a sniper. Like I'm going intentionally to these one or two people nearby, and then I'm the rep. I'm the area. I'm in the area. Like if I go to someone in Orange, I don't go to John's area for sure. I could, but I stick with Orange Park because then people are like, yeah, I know Orange Park. I'm here. I'm a local. You're buying from a person in Orange Park. I'm a local person. My office is here, and people feel more comfortable with that. That's just my belief. I'm not sure it's true or not, but yeah, Lindsay, I would just look on Zillow or you get the Momentum Red X on the Facebook page and call the expireds, offer a cash deal to expired people.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lindsay, great question. And just a comment there, it's usually distress situations, death, divorce, and disease. Those are the 3 Ds that the majority of fix and flippers look at. And that's what gets folks in these pre-foreclosure situations. But yeah, that's a really good lead generation source. So thanks for that, Chris. Moving on, Sean, good to see you. What's your question for Chris and Kady?
What's up, my man? This is very good, by the way. I appreciate this. Chris and Kady, so it sounds like majority of your leads are coming from lead generation, like active lead generation. Have you worked with wholesalers at all, or is that something that you try to stay away from? Is there a reason why, if so? But I guess the question is, have you guys worked with wholesalers on any level? Is there anything to stay away from there?
I mean, we've tried, but none of the deals they present are good. And
Okay.
I'll say the only problem when you start doing the website and the Google Facebook page, man, is I get bombarded with wholesaler calls all the time. And it's like, oh, you just watch this Pace Morby script because I can tell what you're telling me, and you're like, I can hear you saying, and they don't have energy, so I don't want to work with them because they'll call and say, hey, is this the business owner? And I'm trying to sell it. I got a property. And then you ask, like, are you really the owner? And then so I wouldn't mind working with a wholesaler, but no one so far has brought me a great deal. And a lot of times, if you don't get with the big time wholesalers, a lot of them go to like the big investors in Jacksonville. If you don't go to by the time they give you the deal, like on Yellowbird, I don't know. This is my opinion. By the time the deal gets on Yellowbird and Facebook, it's already too late. The true people, John's already passed the deal. Buying Jack's Homes passed the deal. Yellowbird is Kyle's passed the deal. So I was like, okay, that deal didn't really make sense. So just I usually skip by those people right there. But again,
Okay.
not saying one hasn't sent me a right deal, just the numbers don't make sense when they send deals.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can get a much better deal when you find it yourself.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, please be very careful with wholesalers and their ARVs and their estimates of repairs. They could not be more inaccurate. Their job is literally to find the person who is going to pay the highest price for the property, and sometimes that sucker is you, and hopefully it's not. As Kady said, find the deal yourself is the best way to get the most meat on the bone in investing. You got to be the first person to the kitchen table. You have a competitive advantage by being the first one to get eyes on it and the first one with the contract. Let
me add that though, real quick, John. And I will slightly disagree with them on that. You got to be the first, but sometimes you got to be the one who listens the most. So even there's going to be tons of people there before you. If you don't listen, and then when I do talk to the people that we met, or like especially Kady cold call, I say like, why did you pick us? I'm sure you got other calls, and they'll say, Kady sounded like an angel. So it's just they've already got the cold callers calling them all the time, the wholesalers, everyone calling them. But yeah, sometimes you don't get first. But if you come there and you listen, And again, we might be a little bit higher on price, but if you come there and listen and you're just patient and you talk to people, you can convert them.
Just like general real estate, you have to find a way to stand apart and stand out from
Yeah,
the competition.
So Kady, let's break that down. So what makes you guys stand out from the other people? I mean, other than the angel voice and the calming presence, what makes you stand out to all of these other people who you're competing with?
That's kind of tough, but I think it's just important to be yourself. Don't qualify yourself. And just talk to them like you're talking to a friend or a family member that's in need of your help, really. And just learning to drive the bus. Don't give up when they say, I've got it taken care of, or I'm working with the bank. Push through that, because that's where the wins are. And they've had so many phone calls. They're being highly solicited, and just learning to push through that and connect with them. Then they can learn to trust you and really want to then hear what you have to say.
Awesome. Thank you for that. All right. Who else has questions? Just go ahead and raise your hand with the emoji. I do have a bunch of other questions. We've got questions in the chat as well. So I'll wait for you guys to raise your hand. I'll pull a question from the chat. So there's a question from Bree. Are you all more conservative with your offers now when demand is down in the buying market, or do you still use the 75% of ARV minus rental costs at this time? Basically, she's asking how much money are you looking to net on your flips?
If you ask my great partner, she'll do the 75% deal. I like to wing it and just try to get, and I do the numbers on my little Excel sheet. And to be totally honest, not everything's gonna be a home run, but if I can, again, I think worst case scenario, if I make $5,000 in 4 or 5 months and I can do that 10 times, I made 50 grand. So of course, the target's not $5,000, but I want to make more money. But if I can get as many deals as possible, learn the most, and still make money, then I don't really have a limit. I just don't want to lose money. But I want to make money, but I know Kady's definitely, that's where it's great, because she does catch me. Look, dude, dummy, hey, come on.
I just feel like that's where we've learned along the way, because we used to get so excited. They said yes to us, we're jumping in. Woo-hoo, we don't care, we got a deal. But then when you put all this time and energy into a project, and then you have to list it and then hope it sells and hope it sells soon. And then you have the inspection, and we lost our butts on an inspection. And, so once you've seen it, a project from start to finish, and then you realize, wow, we just did all of that for this much. Then you start realizing, I feel like we could be good to our people, do them right, but be smart about this. And that's where we've learned a lot. And we've also learned, this is from Joan as well, but always do an inspection first on the house. We used to never do that. And we figured out the hard way. That's probably a really smart move to
inspection and title search.
Yes. We have, we've been very blessed. We've gotten some great killer deals, but we've also lost a lot, and we've lost a lot of time and energy too, which, we've learned from, which is great. But I feel like it just kind of makes you take a step back and reevaluate things a little bit in order to be even more successful moving forward.
I love that. So Chris is at 5K and Kady's at as much as possible. Like, what would be your number of your minimum threshold for profit?
I am happy, honestly, if we just make 10K each.
So
when
20K.
It's all said and done. Yeah, I mean, we have made a little less than that, and we haven't lost any money. But when you look at when it's all said and done, we should have made a lot more. But we've also done extremely well with a somewhat easy transaction. So, but I think our goal is to net typically total 20 to 30.
Yes, that would be ideal. Like I said, I'm not going for 5K, but again, I'm not going to say, I don't want $5,000 next month,
Yeah, Chris sends me deals all the time, and I know whether or not the numbers are a Chris deal or a Kady deal right away. So I really like the Kady deals. I'm in the Kady camp over here. I'm rooting for Kady. So yeah, push the numbers up. It is important. It's a lot of work. It's not easy, and there's a lot of risk. So
That's the biggest part too. You have all your money out there. Well, not all, but when you have multiple projects and you have a lot of money out there on the line, it is a big risk.
yeah,
I think the most we had at one time was like 5 houses going at one time. And that was really like, man, that was stressed out, man. Especially getting those mortgage emails towards the end of the month.
I love those on the first of the month. I email Chris 5 times. I'm like,
Yeah.
10,000.
Oh, shoot.
Man, come on.
And then you see him go buy some, Disney cards or whatever. Like, gosh, dang it! I don't know what I'm paying for.
Yeah, you're funding my kids' private education. Thank you, sir. All right. So with that, Bree, thank you guys for the answers to that question. Bree, go ahead with your question. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to expand on it first. This is excellent. Thank you for creating this opportunity for us to learn. Kady, so I'm very much a math person, so I just want to understand, right? So the 25% buffer, is that to take account for any repairs that may be asked from a buyer, commission for a buyer's agent? Like, is that where that buffer is, those expenses are thought about, or is that just profit? Like your goal is 25% profit?
I feel like that just provides enough wiggle room just to have, because those unexpected things and surprises, they're going to come up. It's the inevitable. So in order for you to be able to cover that and still make a reasonable profit.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And from trial and error, it really works well with those numbers, personally, I think.
Okay, and I think this is a safe assumption. You're listing your own properties, correct? So really,
yes, ma'am.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
While we're on the numbers, we had a question from Jeannie Correa in the chat. What do you pay project manager? Is it a percentage? Is it a dollar amount?
To be honest, I pay them whatever they ask. They tell me how much the renovations are going to whatever the renovations cost is going to be, and I say, okay, just whatever. Andrew, just tell me whatever you need, and he's got his money in there. I don't ask questions. They get the job done, and I'm not stressed out about anything. So,
have you guys noticed that Chris is really he wants to take a small slice of a bigger pie, and that causes him to be the quarterback? Do you know what I'm saying? There's some people who want to take it all for themselves, and then they just are overwhelmed. But Chris is willing to pass off the listing piece, the buyer piece, the conversations on the phone. He is literally putting all the pieces together, and he's not greedy where he's trying to take the most of it. He's just taking a little slice.
Well, I just found, John, especially with the project managers, if I try to ask them what they make or whatever, but they just get the job done. They're quality people I trust. And if I can trust you, I will pay you whatever of course, at some point I'll see like it's unreasonable, but but with that trust, it just leaves things open to where when you got people you trust for all forms of your business, it makes it easier. Because you're not looking around checking on people. You're like, okay, that person got it done. Alicia's handling that person. Andrew's got that. Elena's got that. James got, okay, I don't got to worry about stuff.
It's brilliant, Chris.
So how much? Just give us a range, right? Because they're asking like, well, that's like a non-answer answer. Love you, Chris.
Non-answer would be, again, I just spent $75K on a house. I don't know how much the renovations are. Andrew builds in his project management fee. I believe probably minimum is like $5,000, but it's built into their fee. And I with the trust, I know it's a non-answer, but if you got people you trust and the price, the number, the main thing, the number that you ask them, what's going to cost to fix a house up? And if you buy a house for $90K and it's going to $75K to fix it up, and you're like, hey, I'm going to sell this for you $300K, I don't care what his fee is.
Right.
Because I'm going to make good money off that house. We just closed on a house, my house I moved into. I personally moved in one of our flips that we got from, we sold, we got a person that Kady left a little note on the door saying, please call us. We know your house is in trouble. We sold that person's house. That person referred us to her friend, and I ended up buying her house for $95K. I spent like close to $80K renovating it. And then I paid out my partner. I paid her well out, and we did well. But again, I didn't ask Andrew. I'm like, if he's saying $80K to fix up, and I'm going to make $50K if we listed it, I am happy. We're both making $50K off the deal. I'm not going to question what his project management fee is. So of course the numbers got to make sense. Yeah, it might be a non-answer, but you look at the numbers. You don't ask what their fee is. Like, what's the total to fix this house, and that includes their fee. And you're like, okay, I'm good with that number. And if you're not good with the number, you say, hey, what can we do about reducing the number down? And they'll find a way to make it happen.
Yeah, that's great. So, and thank you for the clarification and the mindset behind the thinking. So, just so others know, usually it's 15 to 20% of the labor and material. That's usually what they charge to be able to manage the entire project. So, if your project is 20,000, they're going to take between probably $2,000 to $4,000 for managing and getting the whole project and putting all the pieces together. Does that make sense? And
but I think if you do that, though, I think if you have that kind of mindset, this is just my point of view, is you're going to start trying to maybe want to control the situation too much.
yes,
You're going to be, oh man, this person's getting $5,000. Why is the roof so expensive? Why is it? Then you're spending too much time focus on the wrong thing. That's when I'll hear Kady's voice saying, Chris, you should have bought this house for a better price. Then you wouldn't have borrowed the money. So if you do that, if you're worried about like what the fee is for that and then this for that, then you're trying to be the project manager. And then you're taking another job that maybe you shouldn't take on.
right. Because you can't scale if you don't pass off that responsibility and just move on.
Yeah.
And the money with these margins is really in the scaling aspect of it. Chris, I agree with you. I've worked with the same contractor 7 years. Whatever bid he gives me, I just pay him. And that's how you create loyalty as well, because you don't want to keep sifting through contractors. It can be a big pain point for scaling. So I love it. So Sean, let's go back to you, and then we've got a couple questions in the chat. And if you have your question, make sure to ask it now, because we're gonna be logging off in about 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, my man Chris is paying for convenience, is what that is, and I feel him on that. You guys said a home inspection. When you say a home inspection, are we talking about like a traditional home inspection, or are we walking through with the contractor and that's when you're getting your bids? And then the second part is with a project manager. When you say they're budgeting, they're putting it into the budget. Are they walking the house and giving the bid, or are you just passing the bid on to them?
So traditionally, when we get a house, if you do, you find out whoever your favorite home inspector is, and you say, "Hey, man, how much to do investment, inspections?" Usually, you like want a 4-point because you'll need to get insurance. I learned from working with Alina on the houses that we did. She taught me that you definitely need inspection because you want to get some insurance company will give you a better rate if you have if you do an inspection ahead of time. But I walk the house. I give once you get the house, once you get an appointment, you set an appointment with your project manager later on. Once you build a rapport and they sign the purchase agreement, then I come back with Andrew or Alina or Jamie and say, hey, what do you think it's going to take to get this house fixed up? Or and then just let them give me a bid. I don't bid around. I honestly I probably could, but I don't bid around. Again, I trust those three people a lot. Where what they say is what it is, and okay, yeah, that's what you think it is. And I might say, hey, could you come down a little bit? Can we get a little cheaper on something? But I just send that person there, and like John was saying, he's worked the same person. Once you build up trust with somebody like this, look, I believe it.
And then if you have to renegotiate, just renegotiate it with the seller.
No, by then you should have at least kind of factored that in when you walk the property. Like if you're walking the house, like it's a little 3-2, you're like, okay, you walk in and it's like, oh, this is just straight crap. It's from 1980s and plumbing, electrical all messed up. It's gonna be 50, 60K, including the roof. Okay. And you just know that off the top of your head.
Gotcha.
That's the average.
Yeah.
But
gotcha.
We do both. We have our contractor meet us there for an estimate, and then we pay for an inspection as well now.
Okay. Even if the house is in bad shape, the home inspector does their thing. Like roaches.
Like if it's but you just still want to know about mainly the plumbing, electrical. Like you want to know about kind of hidden thing. Yeah. So it's not like you definitely can tell the water heater needs to replace all this stuff, but there might be small stuff that you might have missed, and you just want to have that just for your for your well being. But it's only like $250, $200, depending on the inspector.
Cool. All right, cool. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was great. So thanks, Sean, for the question. Good to see you. Francis is asking, other than leaving a note on the door, do you offer the seller something to leave behind, or something that you keep in front of them?
I don't have I have a little trifold brochure I made, and it says like strategies to prevent home loss, and it has like a list of items in there, like as far as final banks, other stuff I leave with them. And again, and I have door hangers I made, and all that stuff I made just going to Office Max or, Office Depot, whatever. You buy the stuff, you print it out. Even if you don't do that, if you have regular printer paper at home, just print out your little trifold that Canva has, and then fold it in a trifold, and now you have something to walk. For me, that's a confidence. I need that for that's my security blanket. So that way I'm not walking in just my hands free, like, hey, I got this paper that it kind of protects you. He's like, here you go, you're handing them something. So it works for a security blanket for me to hand somebody to somebody and say, here you go, read this. You can see about us. We're here to help you out. And nothing in there it'll say like cash out, fast cash, but more of the paperwork says we're here to help. And not so much like, here's the number, we're going to save you this. Like, no, we're here to help you loss prevention for your home.
To me, it's big risk equals big reward. The worst that can happen is someone hangs up on you or slams the door in your face, which we've had both happen many times. Mm-hmm. But if it is us talking to them and offering them some options and solutions versus them losing their house to auction, it's worth it. And when so I'll make a door knocking schedule for people I can't get a hold of when I'm calling them. And so when we are door knocking, we are also driving for dollars. So we're looking for distressed properties, properties that we're like, okay, well, let's just knock on their door and see if they're open for a cash offer for their property. So that's worked really well for us. We've had one of the houses we ended up wholesaling because it just wasn't making a whole lot of sense. It was from door knocking, leaving something on their door that Chris had made. She called us and she was like, you were a sign from God. It was exactly what I needed to hear today. And she called us and she's like, yes, this is, I need to sell this house ASAP. And then her referral, because she enjoyed working with us so much, was the house that Chris ended up moving into. So it's worth it. It's worth it.
And to that point is, so she paid for a short sale course. I paid for an investing course. Both of those things didn't really pan out like we thought they were going to do, but we learned something from each course that we can implement in our business. And again, for us, it was a sticky note from my investment course, and he kind of gave me a new verbiage like, hey, make sure you tell people directly when you meet them that, hey, my name is Chris. I'm here to help you. I would like to buy your home, and I'm also here to make a small profit. So so everything's transparent. Like, look, I'm here to make a small profit. I got to make a small profit. I'm not trying to, but you give them a fair offer on the house. And then for her course, hers was so detailed and gave us great paperwork. Now that with the course that she had, we got tons of great paperwork. Now when we go to the appointment about signing, we get everything we need signed at that point, whether it's a power of attorney, asking them for what's your bank account information, get authorization to talk to your bank. Because those are the big forms that when you meet these distressed people, you have to go back and try to find them later on. And if they're on some sort of substance or some kind of issue and they're not able to access them, you want to have all those forms filled out that moment. So when you need to send it to the title company, you need to have these forms of, again, who's your lender, sign up authorization so you can ask access to lender. Even a power attorney, again, not if someone's on substance, you might need a power attorney because they might disappear. And we've had people disappear on us like, okay, we're still going to do this and take care of them, but you have to be prepared when you go to these appointments to get things signed because these people are in the situation they're in, and they might not be in the right mindset to sign again. And so if you got to get them all wrapped up in that one appointment with the correct paperwork to get things done.
Make it one shot.
Yeah. Love that, guys. So I'm gonna ask you one last question, and we're gonna hop off here. So thank you everybody for participating. We've got a lot of thank yous in the chat and all that kind of stuff. Tons of value today. So before we hop off here, what has been the number one lesson you have learned through this journey in the last 2 years that you want us to take away today?
Let me go first.
Yeah. You're it.
Number one lesson I learned, and again, we talked about it several times, is I just trust a lot of people, and I couldn't do things without a team. Especially without Kady being able to help me on phone calls and then pull me. Kady, John, Alina, Andrew, everyone helps to pull me back into alignment because I do get my emotion that I will get out there. But when you got a trusted source of people around you that you can talk to about real estate or personal life, whatever, it really helps to alleviate all the stress you sit, because you'll sit there in your house and go through all these situations in your head, like why things aren't going the way you want them to go through. But when you have trusted partners that can help relieve the pressure of, is that listing going? Is that buyer finding a house? Is this wholesale, there's not wholesale, is this, flip going well? Is that person, I got to talk to that person? All these things will start building up to you. But for me, having a trusted circle of people around you makes the biggest difference in the world. And it's hard. I did it solo for so long and sold a bunch of houses, but man, that was not fun at all. Now I'm having fun because I got people I can work with and trust, and we all can make money together. So that's just for me.
Yeah, that's good.
I love it. What about you, Kady?
Oh man. So I've learned so many things. I think most importantly is just go all in and take the risk. It's worth it. I wish I would have gone into real estate and learned about investing so many years ago. It's just the options are endless and the income potential is just incredible. And the freedom that comes with real estate is, and then and you always have, like, you control too your success. Like, each day is a new opportunity, whether you're at the grocery store or who you're interacting with. It's just, and then just truly being able to help people. Like I said, like we've said before, it's just a win-win, and it's been great. And I really highly recommend that if you're just on the fence, like Chris always told me, don't talk about it. Don't just go all in, and you learn as you go, and you won't be sorry. And we're here for anybody who has questions or need help along the way.
That's such a good answer. Thank you so much. Every day is an opportunity, and go all in. Chris and Kady, this has been fantastic. Hour and 15 minutes. Where, if they can get in touch with you, where should they reach out to you? Is it Instagram, Facebook?
Oh man. Don't look at my phone. My text messages I don't answer. I don't answer emails. I answer I answer phone calls, but you can text me. I'll do my best to respond back. 904-662-0133. I'll do my best but I usually talk to like 5 people a day, and I've already hit my limit for the day. So I won't respond back today, but text me tomorrow.
He's not lying.
Kady, how about you? What's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Facebook Messenger, definitely, or email kajacksbuyers@gmail.com, or text me anytime, 904-400-2131. I am definitely a little better at communication.
I do have my number. Yeah, that's my follow-up box number. So I have that on there. So when people see my follow-up box number, they can text and call me through that. And it's managing my CRM. So that's why I always use a Google number or follow boss number. But
there's plenty of business to go around for everybody. So we are happy to help.
Awesome. Love it. Well, thank you guys for your time today. Thank you for a professional presentation, and we got a lot of value out of today. So look forward to talking with you guys soon.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
all right. Bye, everybody.